I was reflecting back on my journey, spiritual journey, and wanted to make a kind of uh, list of all of some practices and some factors, parameters that were really important, that were really a very good support for the journey, and that I thought it would be interesting for you to know about them. Not that you have to really stick on this list, but to say, oh yeah, okay, this part, this area is not well developed in my life, and maybe it could be a good support for my practice and so on. And so, for example, I would say I would start with that really morality was really a big support in this spiritual journey. Sila. So the development of virtues. And it really looks like nowadays the emphasis is mostly made on the maybe mindfulness practice or on awareness, right? And morality, because it really looks like we put more constraints around our life. We might feel already very constrained by having to earn some money to pay the bills, and you know, it looks like more and more difficult because we depend on so many uh, people, let's say, to have access to good air and to food that we can afford, that we say, oh, it's more and more constrained. I don't know at the end of the month how I could even pay my bills, or how I could send my children to school or to university, and it becomes more and more constrained around money, around how far now you can also travel, because it becomes more and more expensive. Maybe your work is not is also difficult, and also getting access to healthcare might be difficult. And for all those reasons, maybe adding something that sounds like morality and virtues. I have to give again more. I have to really train again, not to. But I would say now, looking back at what was supportive for my practice, really the five, at least the five precepts that um, not lying, not abstaining from lying, abstaining from killing living beings, abstaining from stealing what is not, abstaining from taking what is not given to us, abstaining from sexual misconduct, and abstaining from taking any intoxicants which blur the mind. Those were very supportive. So it looks like, all right, meditation, sitting practice, walking practice, and morality must be a very strong support, actually. I would say, so I do not want to really give some some skills, but as much as sitting, as much as sitting in everyday life, really paying attention to what you say, to your speech, to be, and its integrity. And then you start, because you really abstain from that, you kind of build some confidence even into yourself. It gives strength also to the mind, saying, oh no, this I discard, this I abstain from, because I know it's gonna hurt myself and hurt others. Just that, it's those five small habits. And of course, taking intoxicants um, for the mind. Then also, if you have, I don't know, it can go also from any kind of things that you ingest and that blurs the mind, then you cannot sit afterwards, right? And the mind is not at peace, or the way you are uh, perceiving the world is completely modified, altered, and not allowing them to sit and to do, just even um, serenity practice. Morality was a very, very strong support for the practice. Yes. So you can train in that. You can also expand the precepts to the eight precepts. I can talk about that maybe next time. And also because when sometimes you, in the practice, when you start to understand more and more about the working of the mind and the body, then there are stages in the insight practice that are start to become very dark, and say that you will reach dark moods. So in those times, strong morality is very important, because you will have no longer, it's like this big earth. At some point you will uh, you might in the course of the practice kind of lose ground, you know. Say, okay, I want to completely, you will want to maybe completely shut down, completely change your life, or you will have also, because of too much maybe meditation, and there are, if you go into intense practice without a teacher or a guide, you might also hit some kind of strange areas that might also turn you into a kind of psychosis, and then you might have strange ideas. So better to train morality before. Yes, and stick to that. Or if you are very confused in your life and you don't know what to do, it looks a very complicated situation that you are in, then you say, okay, I keep abstaining from lying. I keep abstaining from, even if you do not know what to do, if you keep those five, then it's kind of safety kit. Safety kit. It's kind of safety jacket you can put on. Say, okay, maybe in the sea, you know, you are in the sea, no longer on the boat. You do not know where you are going, you're floating around, but you are floating still. So you say, okay, maybe you are pushed by the wind, you don't know where you are going, when you will be rescued or what, but you have this safety jacket with you. Okay, I won't lie. Even if I would lie, it looks like it would help me in that situation because I could manipulate the others' view about me, about the situation, and so on. Well, or I could keep this information for myself. Then, if that other person doesn't have that information, then of course he won't make that choice and that choice, which is not in my favor. See, and you see, it looks, if I look back now, when I really, in the past, when I really want to keep some information for myself because the truth of this information was against my wanting. But anyway, I said this, let's say the truth of the information. Then even if I thought that if I wouldn't say that, if I would lie, then it would be in my favor. I would say almost all the time, 100% of the times when I said I didn't lie instead of lying, then the situation went went well. Actually, went well, and I felt good. You feel good of not lying. The heart is okay. Okay, I could have done that. I didn't, and yeah. Then deep space, you know, deep space, because then it's oh, they will discover. You know, they will discover. And not only that, it's just that, yeah, because it's not, lying is not accompanied with a pleasant feeling. It's accompanied with unpleasant feeling. Anyway, so just the example of lying. And then that's funny because you really lose the habit of lying. And I realized that in the past, really maybe 20, 30 years ago, I could use it quite often, not knowing, you know, not knowing. And as a way to navigate this life, everybody does that. Nobody is an open book. So we have our secrets. And we don't want others to do this or that. So we use lying as a way to, because we want to control. So at the beginning, it's really counterintuitive, and we are always, because we know that we use lying, so other also use lying as a way to get their things done and to control their life. So you're always like, is he telling the truth? Or you're always like, kind of, yeah, there is no trust. There is no trust. There is no trust because what you use, the other used to. And then you will see also that if you start abstaining from lying, then so first, of course, you will be more relaxed. Yes. And because you won't have to think, oh, what did I say last time that I didn't? Oh yeah, I have to. You know, you have to build up some convenient, some consistent stories about what you said. And yeah, because you feel, if you don't lie, you don't, you feel relaxed, and others will start to also trust you somehow. They say, okay, this person, when she says something, actually, her speech is coherent with what she does. And but when she, of course, when you, for example, even very simply, uh, if you say that you are going to do something, then you know that you are going to do something, or that you are able to do it. It's just not saying that you are going to do something in order to buy time. In order to buy, yeah, I'm going to do it. So it's in order to make the other shut up and leave you alone. And yeah, so if you say you're going to do it, you do it. So you start to have kind of a coherency between what you think, what you say, and what you do. So you do not use a speech only to get your way out, all right? Or get your way having someone do something for you that you want. This is just a small example around lying. And then at some point, because you start to have the results of um, a life in which there is no lying, when you have more and more, like, I would say, alignment between what you think, what you say, and what you do, and the results of that, and how, let's say, as your life is a kind of mirror of this um, alignment, how the environment and the people around you react to this kind of alignment, then you forget about lying. You don't even use it because you have negative results. If you really analyze it, have a look back. So you start to abandon and say, okay, it's really supportive. It's really supportive because I can I can sleep well at night. I do not have nightmares about people being kind of attacking me. You can have different kind of dreams, and that even in your dreams, people are kind of offensive and enemies. And at some point, these kind of dreams do not even come, do not recur. Pleasant dreams until you no longer dream. All right, this was a very short talk about morality, how it can be supportive. And just to conclude, it's, don't make it a very, well, if you cannot maintain, or there are situations where you lied, and reflect on causes and effects, what it brought into your life. You can meditate a little bit before doing that, just to not do this contemplation with a confused mind, and then say, okay, it was not that beneficial, and so I'll try next time not to do it, right? Do not be very, you can also relax a bit around that, okay? Because the, let's say, the inner judge can be Let's say the more you punish yourself, or the more negative self-judgment you can have around the precept, the less, the more difficult it will be to keep them. So always bring metta if you do not manage uh, to do that, and say, oh, and then resolve. Say, okay, next time I will pay attention. I will, I will try again. Okay, so thank you for your attention, and I wish you all a nice Sunday. And if you have any questions about today's meditation, um, or about morality, please feel free to ask. You know, you can reach me anytime. If you have any questions, you can write. And if you need to go, please feel free to go. Thank you.